Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Cecily and welcome to my kitchen. Today I have one of my favorite recipes I'm sharing with you, cheesy beef enchiladas. These are super warm and cozy and my Nana's recipe, so let's get started. So for the enchilada sauce, you're going to need 2 rounded tablespoons of flour, a half a teaspoon of onion powder, garlic powder, and cumin, and 2 rounded tablespoons of chili powder. And then you're going to need either water or chicken broth. I have 2 cups of water here that I added in a tablespoon of chicken bouillon, and I've given that a mix. Okay, so to a medium heated pan, I'm going to add in about 4 tablespoons of oil, a neutral oil. Then I'm going to add in my flour, and we're going to give this a really good mix. We're just going to toast that flour for just about a minute. Kind of stir out all of those lumps and take away out of that raw kind of flour taste. So watch your temperature and then keep whisking with the whisk just to make sure everything doesn't burn. After that, we're going to add in our chili powder, our garlic, onion, and cumin, and then give this a really good whisk until everything is combined, and then you just want to toast those spices just for a minute or so, just to kind of wake them up. Alright, after about a minute and those spices have waken up and got a little toasty, we're going to add in our chicken broth. And I'm just going to do this slowly just so it doesn't create a lot of lumps. So as you're pouring in your chicken broth, keep stirring with your whisk. And I did have 2 cups of chicken broth, but I ended up using another half a cup of just plain water just to thin out my sauce a little bit. So once you get all your chicken broth in there, just go ahead and stir it till it is nice and smooth. And then you're going to let this cook for, I'd say, about 4 to 5 minutes on simmering on a low heat. Alright, after a few minutes you should have a nice silky smooth delicious sauce just like this. And then we're going to get started on the rest of the ingredients for our enchiladas. So here I am dicing up a 1/4 of a red onion, and then I'm going to add that to a bowl. Like I said, these are my Nana's recipe. This is just one of my favorite memories, is making these enchiladas with her in the kitchen. This is how I grew up making them with her. This is how my dad made them as well. So really I hope you guys give this one a try. Next we're going to get started on my Nana's secret part, was the Velveeta cheese. This is a mini block, so I'm just going to use about half of it. And so for this recipe, I did make only about 8 enchiladas. You can get 12. Since I'm the only one that eats beef in my house, my partner does not. So these enchiladas are just for me. And I didn't want to make too many because I can't eat a whole tray of enchiladas, even though I can if I wanted to, but don't want to eat exactly a whole tray. So this did make about 8 of them, but you can make 12. And if you have a bigger family, just go ahead and double the recipe. So I'm just going to get this cheese all nice and cubed. A tip would be here, instead of leaving it in the fridge, pop it into the freezer for just a few minutes to harden up that cheese, and it might be a little bit easier to slice. Alright, and then we can get started on assembling our enchiladas. So here's that sauce. I have our onions. I do have some olives there, our cheese. I'm using ground beef that I've already cooked up with just some seasoned salt, onion powder, and garlic powder. And then my baking dish. My tortillas right there, I've already warmed them up. So what you're going to do is just grab your tortilla, just dip it into that sauce, add in your beef. Then I'm going to sprinkle in some onions and some of those olives and some cheese. And of course, all of this is optional. If you do not want to have any of these in there, you do not have to put them in. You can leave out the olives or onions, or if you didn't want to use the Velveeta cheese, you can use a different cheese. But this is my Nana's recipe, and this is the way she makes it, and it is so good. So after that, just go ahead and give it a roll, and if things fall out, that's okay. Just go ahead and stuff it back in there. I didn't realize that my tortillas were really small, so if you do this recipe, get the bigger ones, and they'll be easier for you to roll. Alright, so what we're going to do is just continue to roll our enchiladas, and here we go. So it's easier for me to just do them in the pan instead of on a plate, because I don't want to dirty any more dishes, even though I already did. But I realized, I'm like, wait, I'd rather just do it in the pan like I normally do. I was so excited to make this recipe because these enchiladas are just so comforting to me. It has been raining in California, and I was really craving something warm and cozy, and this is where my mind went. And it's been a while since I made these, so super excited to be sharing it with you guys. So once you get all of your enchiladas rolled up, we're going to top it with some more sauce. Sauce them up. And then if you have any of the leftover ingredients, what I like to do is just kind of take the remaining of any of the ingredients and kind of top it on top. So I had a little ground beef left over, so I'm just going to add that to the top. I'm going to add in some onions and my olives. And then any of that remaining like cheese, if you don't want to top it with this cheese, like I said, you can use a different type of cheese. Here we are. So these are just going to go into the oven at 350 covered for about 30 minutes, and after that you are ready for some delicious cheesy beef enchiladas, homemade sauce. These are so good. So we're going to serve these up. These were super soft. I was trying carefully to get them out of the pan, but they kind of broke in half because my spatula isn't big enough. But look at that. Doesn't that look good? They're cheesy, savory. I love the crunch of like the olive and the onions, and everything is just spiced to perfection. I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.